Ulan-Ude, Kaliningrad, Novosibirsk, Perm, St. Petersburg, Kazan and Voronezh. This is only a small number of the cities where daily pickets of those who advocate for an immediate end to the war in Ukraine and against Putin's regime and repression are held. All photos in social networks are posted by activists of the Vesna movement.
We do not believe that war and dictatorship can simply be waited out, that it will end somehow by itself, that someone will do something instead of us. That is why we try to take responsibility into our own hands. We initiate protests, campaigns and projects. We can only count on our own efforts and other anti-war initiatives with which we cooperate. And of course to all those people who support us. Bogdan Litvin, coordinator of the Vesna movement on Telegram.
The disappointment of Russians is growing. The number of those who consider the course of military operations a success has dropped by 8% in a month. This is the data cited by the Sociological Service of the Anti-Corruption Foundation in its survey.
The number of respondents who consider the course of the war to be successful for Russia dropped from 22 to 14%, by more than a third. About 14% of respondents called the operation unsuccessful in November, compared with 10% in October. Since August, the number of respondents with such an opinion has almost tripled. At that time it was about 5%, from the results of a sociological survey of Anti-Corruption Foundation.
The American Institute for the Study of War also made its own conclusions based on opinion polls, which are regularly conducted by the Levada Center.
The poll found that 42% of respondents strongly support and 32% somewhat support Russian forces' actions in Ukraine. The poll also found that only 41% of respondents favored Russia continuing military operations in Ukraine. However, whereas 53% said that Russia should begin peace negotiations, Levada Center polling between July and November 2022 shows small but consistent erosion in support for the war among Russians, from the report of the Institute for the Study of War.
Russians are also tired because of propaganda. The show of Solovyov and Skabeva flew out of the number of the most popular television programs. Evening is now not even among the top 100, writes the publication We Can Explain. Russian viewers are now more interested in educational and entertaining content.
I would say so. In 1941 it was clear because of what to fight. Now these political games, So you don't understand the goals that our country is pursuing in the special military operation? Absolutely, of course. I do not support the intervention of the Russian Federation on the territory of Ukraine. I think that this is a senseless and unnecessary war for anyone. Everything is disgusting, war is disgusting, Putin is disgusting, against all this, of course.
The Kremlin is so afraid of anti-war sentiment that this year, for the first time in 10 years, Putin's annual final press conference was cancelled. That is the conclusion reached by British intelligence analysts.
Although questions are almost certainly usually vetted in advance, the cancellation is likely due to increasing concerns about the prevalence of anti-war feeling in Russia. Kremlin officials are almost certainly extremely sensitive about the possibility that any event attended by Putin could be hijacked by unsanctioned discussion about the special military operation, from the report of the UK Defense Intelligence. What can he say in principle? If I'm not mistaken, it's practically the 300th day of a 3-day special operation. I can't remember now what true could he have told. He said that there would be no mobilization, it took place. He said that he did not claim Ukraine, it turned out to be a claim. He took a piece of it, yes.
The majority of respondents questioned by Russian social services were of the opinion that the conflict should be resolved peacefully. Only 30% of those surveyed were in favor of confrontation in November, the lowest proportion ever recorded in a survey. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Husak, UATV News.